Here's a story of a landmark student who is working hard to use her strategies, making connections, asking questions, stating the main idea. There's inferring and visualizing, and don't forget our tools to repair. They all play a part in the understanding of what we read and hear. Let's watch her as she puts them all together, 'cause she knows that they are going to be of help. That active learning will improve her understanding, and that is why we all should use our strategies. Active strategies, active strategies. That is why we use our active strategies.
Cindy has just begun reading a new book to herself. Now that she's learned all the active strategies, let's see how each strategy works in her mind to help her understand what she's reading.
Time to jump back into my new book. I'm so glad Mrs. Sylvester recommended this to me. How do you say the title again?
Why, I can help. Let me repair the title of this book using my handy tools. Let's try dot and grab.
Bun-nic-u-la. Bunnicula. I only read a few pages in the library, but I can't wait to get into it.
Wait, I have to ask y'all a question before picking back up. What happened in the reading yesterday?
A good repair strategy to remember when you read would be to reread the last section.
I left off at page 3 where it says, "I shall never forget the first time I laid my tired old eyes on our visitor."
I can explain now. The main idea of yesterday's reading is that Harold the dog was about to tell the story of a new pet brought into the Monroe's home.
Based on the clues, I infer that Harold the dog must be the narrator of this story.
It was cold. The rain was pelting the windows. The wind was howling, and it felt pretty good to be indoors.
Excellent! This is just the material I need to form a picture in my head. I visualize the dark sky, the heavy rain, the wind whipping down the street.
Victor, I've personally experienced a storm like this. In fact, we had a nor'easter just last week. I think you better use my text-to-self connection to develop your picture a little more.
Yeah, Connie, I'm picturing the house dimly lit with just a single lamp on the corner of the living room, while the skies outside are dark with an occasional clap of lightning that brightens the sky. You can hear the pelting rain against the windows, like the sound of beads spilling on the floor. There's the howling wind in the background. It sounds like a train in the distance.
I was lying on the rug with my head on my paws, just staring absently at the front door. My friend Chester was curled up on the brown velvet armchair, which years ago he'd staked out as his own.
I have another question. Who is this Chester? This is a new name to me.
Why don't we figure that out with one of my other tools to repair? Look for clues.
Aha! Looking at the clues, I note that this Chester was curled up on a soft chair. Based on my background knowledge, this Chester is likely small in size.
I saw that once again he'd covered the whole seat with his cat hair.
Aha! The second clue. If Chester leaves behind cat hair, then we can infer that Chester must be a cat.
So the main idea, my friends, is that we have a dog named Harold and a cat named Chester. They're both inside a house on a dark and stormy night. Let us keep reading.
I chuckled to myself, picturing the scene tomorrow. Next to grasshoppers, there's nothing that frightens Chester more than the vacuum cleaner.
Did Harold just say picture the scene? Since that is my specialty, let me describe what I visualize. A scared cat has being wide eyes, ears pressed back, like he might be shrinking back, like this.
Here's another text-to-self connection. Every time my mother would vacuum, our cat Socks would do something like this.
Why would Harold enjoy watching Chester be afraid of the vacuum cleaner?
Using my background knowledge of dogs and cats, I believe these animals do not always get along. Is that right, Connie?
You got it, Ian.
Therefore, it is quite possible that Harold would enjoy seeing Chester the cat in a frightening situation.
In the midst of this reverie,
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Reverie is a new word to me. Let's use a new tool looking up the definition. Siri, what is the definition of reverie?
Reverie means a state of being pleasantly lost in one's thoughts, a daydream.
Okay, it means daydream. I get that.
in the midst of this reverie or daydream, I heard a car pull into the driveway. I didn't even bother getting up to see who it was. I knew it was my family, the Monroes, since it was just about time for the movie to be over. There they stood in the driveway, Toby and Pete and Mom and Dad Monroe.
I think I'll use another tool, visual clues. There's a picture of this scene next to it in the text.
There was a flash of lightning, and in its glare I noticed that Mr. Monroe was carrying a little bundle, a bundle with tiny glistening eyes.
I wonder what the tiny bundle is. Is the bundle alive?
A mystery indeed. We have 2 clues. This bundle is small, and it has tiny glistening eyes. I infer that something with glistening eyes is alive. But what might have these tiny eyes that glisten?
Might I add a text-to-world connection? A small bundle makes me think of a new baby wrapped in blankets.
Cindy, it's time to go. We're going to be late.
Unfortunately, we will have to solve this mystery later. But the main idea that we know is that the Monroe family has brought home a mysterious, unexpected bundle. Harold will surely reveal what this bundle is in later pages.
I can't wait to read on. I have a feeling this is going to be a big deal.
That is why we use our active strategies.